So crypto has become the preferred tool for terrorists, for ransomware gangs, for drug dealers, and for rogue states that want to launder money.
You heard it here first. Bitcoin is going to zero. Zero. When it comes out, zero.
Bitcoin is worthless artificial gold.
There is no underlying value in Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a pure, Ponzi. It's a pyramid.
Yeah, it's simple. Crypto is useless. And by that I mean there is no utility. There is nothing that crypto does that cannot be done better with other means.
So cryptocurrencies generally, I can say almost with certainty that they will come to a bad ending.
How many people after the age of 40 spend 100 hours studying anything? Like once you get to, how about age of 65?
You don't think Munger, Buffett, Gates, these guys spent 100 hours studying Bitcoin?
Aren't you sure they didn't? Isn't it obvious? I would say it's almost certain that he hasn't spent 10 hours.
Boom, man. Welcome back, everyone. We have a good one for you tonight. I tell you what, of course, with me tonight, the man who needs no introduction, the most interesting guy I know, the man who once ran a marathon because it was on his way. Brawnz, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing well. The double intro, there's so much to unravel. First, the pitfall, one of my favorite Atari games of all time. And that intro that you did just kind of got me jacked. I'm amped up.
Absolutely. Yeah, happy to do it. Yeah, we like those custom timers, those custom intros, Bitcoin. And what are we talking about tonight? Cutting edge technology and pitfall. I don't know. Cutting edge tech. It feels like it's fiat, but I still love the game, man. I love the game. I'll tell you what. How you doing otherwise there tonight, Brawnz?
I'm good. The weather's good over here. Just trying to enjoy it while it lasts. I mean, because, summer's coming around and, it gets really hot over here in Texas.
It does. Yeah, I love the heat. Looking forward to it. I feel like I'm good up until about July. Then I probably had enough of it, but and then it just lasts until October. But we'll take it any way it comes as long as it's not snowing. So, but of course, before we get into it tonight, folks, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe down below. Every little bit helps there, folks. And tonight we'll be getting into the Bitcoin chart as per the norm. And man, it's been a wild week. We had some pretty wild swings up and down, a little bit of fake outs. We'll be talking about that, seeing if it's going to continue. And we'll be getting into some of the noise that's coming out of the SEC and their fight with Uniswap. Man, ding, ding, put on the gloves. Let's go. Circle is enabling USDC transfers for BlackRock's ETF. That's interesting. I feel like you got to have that off ramp. We'll be talking about that, and we'll be finalizing it there, folks, if you're still hanging around. Talking about some of the evergreen that we like to do so much at the end and wrapping it up, talking about some of the world's most cutting edge technologies out there. Man, I'm looking forward to that. Brawnz, what do you say? You want to just jump right into this?
Jump to it.
Let's do it. We're going to go ahead and pull up the charts like we always do, talking about, of course, the granddaddy of it all. Let me know that you see that okay. I'm going to go
I
ahead
see
and
it.
shrink this down and see if we get the full screen in effect here. What we're taking a look here is the 4 hour. How does that look there, Brawnz?
Looks good.
Looking good. Yeah, I think it's looking pretty darn good too. And we if you take a look realistically, we've pretty much have been going sideways, maybe a slight uptick over the past week or so. And what's everyone been talking about? Let's take a look at the daily, and they're talking about, well, let's draw it out. Talking about a potential breakout that we're actually experiencing right now. There's also been some talk about a potential fake out. Let me draw this up, and we're going to dive a little bit deeper into this because this is pretty interesting, folks. What everyone's been talking about is this decision point that's been coming up, and we pretty much had a fake out of this pennant and broke back down, and now we're basically straddling it. There's still potential that this breaks back down. In fact, you still hear a lot of the folks out there saying, well, it's still going down. What I find interesting, and I don't know that I've actually seen anyone talk about this, Brawnz, and just understand it's not FUD. I'm just taking a look at, I still feel like we're going up here, folks. But if you take a look over the past few weeks on this, we had an uptrend here. And then the volume on the other end is actually in a downtrend. Some would say that is a bearish divergence. And I mean, that seems pretty darn obvious to me. I don't know why folks aren't talking about it. I suppose they're concerned about creating some FUD out there, but this is just technicals, folks. This isn't really based on anything outside of what the charts are telling us. So, what do you think here, Brawnz? We're pretty much at a decision point. This thing is going to close. Well, looks like it's going to close within the next few days. We're hitting that point.
Yeah, it's. I would. Yeah, what you said earlier about that divergence. It's always kind of, you got to like keep that in mind. I do think there is going to be some retracement at some point, but I feel like it's it's gonna be trending up for the short term. It was funny. I mean, like when Monday it curved up. I mean, I know some people shorted on Monday, and then but it just kind of just like psyched everybody out. Like, nope, well, we're gonna go back up. And I mean, look, it was what 68 maybe a couple days ago. Now we're back at 70. But I do feel like we're going to be trending up for the next few days. There was that the PPI report that was just released.
Right. We had the
Had some good
CPI and
news.
PPI this week,
Positive.
right? Yeah. And CPI was a little bit negative.
Yeah.
So what we saw
Okay.
was this was on Tuesday. And if you take a look here, there was at the time of the report, just in case you guys aren't paying attention to traditional markets here, CPI report came out indicating that the inflation overall, there's still a not significant impact, but just an impact. It kind of exceeded expectations in a negative way. We dropped 3%, and then realistically, we take a look. We dropped from the report. We dropped almost 5%. Now, if you guys are dealing with leverage, that's a whole heck of a lot. But realistically, in Bitcoin terms, not a whole lot. And then we rode back up. Now, today we had the PPI report, and that was actually positive for us. It started to dip, and then it started to actually move upwards because it was not negative, and now we've been running sideways. So
Yeah.
it's why it's important to actually pay attention to some of the traditional markets here, folks, because some of the trends, regardless of where we are and what the overall charts are telling us, news one way or the other could send us up or down. And that's something something we want to pay attention to. Now,
Yeah.
we're going into the weekend though, Brawnz. You think
Mm.
think we're going to go ahead and continue sideways like we normally do, or what?
I think so. I mean, yeah, I haven't seen it in a while where it pumps over the weekend. It's been
Yeah.
I can't remember the last
Boring.
time it has happened. Yeah, and I mean, I'm okay with that. Um, just keep in mind, there's a lot of things coming in this year, right? So, I mean, there's a couple of supposedly uh, Fed rates, cuts. When that happens, usually the crypto market pumps. The halving is around the corner. It's just a few days away, and then right after, traditionally, it pumps. A few weeks after that. So, and what you just mentioned, like the PPI, I mean, I feel like it's trending up. But as far as the short term, I think it's going to be steady Eddie for the weekend. We will see what next week looks like, but overall, it's gonna moon.
Here's what I find interesting a little bit here, because if you would go ahead and take a look at the liquidation heat map, and if you guys aren't doing this, those that are watching, you would definitely want to make sure you're taking a look and kind of seeing where the market makers are trending towards. Now, we have a whole heck of a lot of liquidity here, just above the 71,500 level, or just starting. We're talking buco bucks. Looks like over 2 billion in shorts just hanging out. Now, I think that there is this strong potential that we start to trend up and try to consume those shorts. Now, we've seen it where it's trended down, but then just for it to retrace up, strong swings, and just gobble up some of that. So it's possible that we go into the weekend. I think that, let's just take a look at the chart one more time here, because what I will really want to pay attention to with the chart too is our RSI levels. If we are just taking a look at technicals here, folks, let's see here. So this is the 4 hour. Pull up RSI. Shoot. It could really go. It really has room to kind of
Right. It's not running hot
to
right
go
now,
up.
right?
It's not.
So,
I mean, shoot, you're middle of the road.
yes.
I mean, we could ride into the weekend like a cowboy in the sunset, but I don't think that that's going to happen. I feel like we may see some momentum before we get into the weekend. That's just my 2 cents on this, folks. I mean,
Okay.
I know that let's take a look at the ETFs, and I feel like in part this is the narrative that we want to pay attention to. Let's see here. We've been taking a look. A lot of folks have been taking a look at farside.co.uk. These guys are actually taking a look at all the numbers here. So let's pull that up so we can see how it was over the week. Now, I feel like we started off in the week pretty darn weak. Oh, no, pun intended. Let's see here. So Monday, big negative number here. And we saw that retrace. So not surprised. ETFs had a hand in that. Now, that goes into Tuesday, and another weekday. Wednesday, positive. And what we're waiting for is today's numbers. And so far, not good. Looks like BlackRock continues their sell-off, but we need to actually see kind of where Grayscale and their ETFs kind of really driving the whole ETFs overall, though Fidelity is not too far behind FBTC. And I don't know. I think tomorrow will be dependent on inflows and outflows. See if we get some positive momentum. Head up. If anything, if we're not going to the moon, then maybe we start to gobble up some of those short liquidity that's being built up on the top end. Maybe a slight retrace and then just sideways into the weekend until we have to wait and see where the CME gap is, and if we're going to close that or trend in another direction.
Sounds good. Yeah. I wanted to mention about, we talked about last week about 21 million Bitcoins, but we did say no one's really counting on the lost Bitcoins. Now they're saying that conservative estimation is 3.8 million is lost, locked up, whatever, never ever going to be retrieved. That's conservative. I mean, we can round it up to 4. So, was that 17 million out there?
Yeah. So talking, 17.2. Right. And what are we talking about here, folks? Right. So overall, 21 million. Brawnz saying 21 million. And obviously everyone is talking about that number, but early on, there was a lot of wallets that were lost, a lot of that got locked. And, I think that is something to consider. So rough estimates, we're talking about really only 17.2 million Bitcoin out there available. And then, of course, there's still of that 17.2, what is not yet been mined. It's a small percentage when you think about it overall, but, and they'll be doing that till kingdom come. Point is that it is even more scarce than most are talking about it. Yeah. Even the folks on CNBC, 21 million. Really? Yeah, sure. It's a lot less than that, folks. So understand what you have. And if you start to think about it that way, maybe you don't really invest in anything else, because when you got folks like BlackRock or Fidelity buying like they are, come on, wake up.
Yep. Now, so there's some forecasts that, like Kathy Woods, of ARK Investment, saying if today, like if you have $1,000 worth of Bitcoin today, in 2030, they believe that Bitcoin is going to be up to like 3.8 million per Bitcoin. That's 54,000. That's a big increase from 1,000 to 54,000. It's a little nice come up there. But it's all speculation, but it's some good hypothesis.
Yeah, for sure. I think what next big up that we're going to see on this is not just the ETFs where the private investor can get their hands on it. I think what I'd love to see next is major corporations being able to have our 401ks kind of dip into this and option into it. I can tell you that Brawnz and I work for a major company, big, and it's not an option. Man, come on now.
Yeah.
Anytime,
I think it's a matter of time. Yeah, matter of time. I mean, speaking of that,
in the morning.
Right. I mean, JP Morgan, Chase, like the main retail behemoths are not even really all in on this yet. Imagine once they, it's a matter of time once they get in on Bitcoin, it's going to be massive. I mean, was that 100 trillion? Yeah.
Man. Yeah.
So
to the moon. There
to
it
the
is.
moon.
Let's talk about some news. What do you say, Brawnz?
Yes.
Let's take a look. Let's see what's going on. So we were talking about this. This has kind of been the news over the past few days here, and one would speculate, though, that it's impacting the market. I don't know that it is. I feel like it's, I don't know. I almost feel like it's a little bit bullish. But Uniswap says it's ready to fight as SEC ramps up its investigation. Who is that? Nosferatu. Man, look at that guy. Eat a steak or something. I don't know. Need to, but I think that this is. We were kind of talking about this, and we're kind of scratching our heads there for a second. Like, well, Uniswap, where are they located? Yeah, let's Google that. New York City. Well, that makes sense that the SEC is going after you. They're saying, of course, that while they received Uniswap is actually saying that while they received Wells notice on from SEC, they're ready to fight anything that comes their way, because in reference to this Wells notice, Coinbase received something very similar, and then they were later sued. Now, as you guys know, they are the largest entity for DeFi, and I think that overall, I do feel like they have something that they need to worry about. SEC is saying that they are they are selling unregistered securities. Now, what I'd love to know, Gary, is define a security. You can do that for us, then maybe I'll be on your side. Until you do that, all I'm hearing is, well, Bitcoin's a security. What else? I don't know.
Yeah.
Right? Is it a commodity? Is it security? Get with it. Define it for us, Gary. And then I think that you could start to go after these other exchanges. And when he did go after, I'm sorry, not Gary, the SEC, when the SEC went after Coinbase, they lost. So let's see how this plays out. I do think that Uniswap is a little bit different in the fact that it does not quite act like a traditional exchange where Coinbase does. And of course, I feel like you and I or anyone out there could create a coin and get it on Uniswap within a matter of, well, minutes. So maybe they need to tighten it up. What do you think, Brawnz?
Yeah, the Wild West. I mean, we're slowly getting through like more clarity. All these positionings of suing. I mean, it will kind of like help us get more clarity, right? I mean, with XRP's case and then with Coinbase case, where we're getting closer to the clarity or these regulations. So I mean, it's unfortunate, but I mean, it's the name of the game. It's if you're not, if you didn't anticipate for this to happen, I mean, really, it's like you don't have not to be condescending to anyone, but it wouldn't be logical if this wasn't going to happen. It's the wild west. They're trying to get this more regulated, and we'll see how Uniswap is. I mean, like I said, yeah, it is the wild west. People get wrecked. I mean, meme coins and non-utilities. I mean, are they going to let this ride or not? I mean, you have some of these. I mean, crypto.com are starting to like make meme coins as well, and maybe like Coinbase. So, yeah, hopefully we'll see more. Honestly, I like Uniswap myself. We'll see what kind of regulations they give them after all is said and done. But I do like the decentralization. I mean, I know you said like what is really decentralization, right? So, but for me, I like the Web3 component where it's so easy, where you didn't have to do the KYC or the permissionless. I mean, I like those mechanics. It's like in and out. It's fun, but of course, yeah, it's easily get scammed if you don't know what you're doing. So definitely, I could see what SEC on their part, why they're doing that. So, but yeah, I mean, in a way, hindsight, this is kind of good for the overall, overall crypto market and see where we're heading to.
Yeah, no, and help if I take myself off mute there, but yeah, I think you got to protect the consumers. That's what it boils down to, and that is truly and always should be in part their role. But I think are they going for those reasons? I don't know. I understand that they're also there to, I feel, and they will decline to say that they are all about preserving the U.S. dollar. Well, yeah, I mean, I hear you, but it seems like all their actions are saying otherwise. So I do think that there is a component for protecting consumers that need to be identified, at least here in the United States. Not to say that there isn't a place for Uniswap in general. I feel like it's a big space. And of course, a lot of big players, of course, do not want to see these types of exchanges out there. But Uniswap has been one that, at least over the years, has really kind of rose to the top. I'm glad they're there. I don't want to see them go away. I would like maybe to see it a little bit tightened up, but that's, spoken like a true American. I feel like we're used to the regulation. We're used to having some kind of, I don't know, kind of safety blanket, so to speak, to make sure our money's protected. Now, if I want to invest all my money in pork rinds, I suppose I could do that too. But, I think at the end of the day, there are some nefarious characters out there, and they're putting it on Uniswap left and right, Pancake Swap, etc. So how do we prevent that from happening, or is that something that you feel we just need to continue to allow? What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, that's very interesting because I believe Uniswap is open source, so there's other people like creating their own decks. So I mean, what are you gonna do? I mean, if you're trying to stop Uniswap, I mean, there's gonna be other decks created, but maybe
Sure.
this, maybe at the end of the day, we're setting a baseline where we're setting more of a ground rules to this. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see, in the near future and where we're heading
Yeah,
at.
that's it. That's it. I don't think that Uniswap's going anywhere. I think if anything, they may, if there are some kind of grounds for concerns, let's talk about it. Have the conversation. Identify what SEC needs to identify, and I don't know. They're not going anywhere. So, all right, moving right along here, Bronze. Let's talk about the ETFs, and more specifically, we're going to talk about BlackRock's ETF. Seems like Circle is now in bed with these folks. Big surprise here. Circle is huge here in the States, and it looks like they're going to be acting as an off ramp for the BlackRock ETF, where you could go ahead and transfer out of their fund and get it into Circle. And they're going to go ahead and convert that right over to USDC for you. Well, okay.
Yeah, that's cool.
I
Yeah.
think, I like it. I like it, right?
Yeah.
I feel like it's a little bit of, smoke and mirrors. All they're doing is they're taking USD and converting it to USDC, and then you're able to. And I'd be curious to know if there's actually a wait time as to when your USDC can be offloaded. I kind of see that in Coinbase. When I transfer my USD to Coinbase, I have to wait a 7-day wait period.
I hate that.
Yeah. So
Oh yeah.
I suppose this remains to be seen, but I feel like it's a step in the right direction, and the integration components are there, especially for all of those folks, all of those normies out there. What are your thoughts on this, Bronze?
Yeah, like what you said about like in Coinbase, takes 7 days, several days for whatever things to clear. I hate that, but I know that they're trying to follow the regulations and not get sued, but they still got sued anyways. But BlackRock is the big dog. They can have whatever they want. They can have their way. I feel like they have power over SEC. Ultimately at the end of the day. So I mean, they are pretty much doing the same thing like with the decentralized, like the Uniswaps and things, like Coinbase. But this is they're leading the way. They are the big dogs, and they're introducing this to the 95 percenters. The on ramp, off ramp. They're just making it, trying to like make it even more mainstream to this, especially to the wealthies. So this is kind of bullish. Like the small guppies, the DGens been doing this, been moving coins around. This is more of the same, but this is BlackRock, what we're talking about. They are making this more legit. So this is exciting. This is bullish. Yeah, I can't wait. But yeah, like what we just said in the previous conversation, SEC is trying to try to set regulation as far as the US, but it's very hard in crypto because crypto is global, right? You can it's all just in and out. I mean, it'd be really different if you can only just trade and transact, within the country, but we are like we're global now. So I know that's why it's been taking so long for the US to try to find the regulation and the clarity. It's been so murky for the past couple of years, but I do feel like we are gaining ground, but BlackRock and the other of these institutions are pushing the technology forward, and that's bullish.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. I mean, we gotta start moving away from the 5%ers, right? 5% of the world using crypto and start to focus on some of the needs of the 95. That's how we're going to get our bags to grow exponentially. Now, I think the concern though and the concern that I have, and we talked about this in the past, specifically with what the SEC and Gary is saying is it's difficult to define it because blockchain chain technology is not just that currency, right? You have all of these different other components and functions that can be leveraged within the space. So it's something that needs to be broken down and categorized moving forward. What type of blockchain technology are you? Define yourself when you enter the space. Are you the meme coin, the currency? Because I feel like that is in itself. You ever get on the boardwalk there, Bronze, and you get those tokens? You pop them into a machine. Yeah, well, I'm going to go ahead and get 5 of them for $1 so I can put them into the arcade. I feel like that's exactly what meme coins are. Ethereum seems to me like the backbone of which all transactions will occur in the future due to their security that they have baked in. And then, of course, you got the granddaddy, which acts more like as they say, digital gold. And as an asset class, something that you don't necessarily spend, something is more that you invest in and hope that grows over time. So I don't know. We'll have to see how this all plays out. And of course, we got the elections coming up. So there is going to be some focus on that, I believe, here in the coming months. And
Coming in hot. John, man, the halving is almost here. It's crazy.
Having of what? Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. I don't know what you're talking about. Has people been talking about that? What are we saying? 9 days out. Now, there's some folks are saying we're supposed to see that on the 19th or on the 20th. And of course, it's not an exact, right? It's going to be based off of how quickly we are able to get to that specific block. And we're close. We're close. It's a little over a week now, folks. 2 weeks from now, it'll all be said and done. Now, the question is this a sell the news event? We start to see an increase, and then are we going to see a potential retrace? I think that there's plenty of folks, a lot of folks out there, a lot of new individuals into the space, and you guys are all welcome. But I think what they're expecting is a possible potential for just a to the moon scenario without any retrace. And it doesn't seem like that's the case, at least historically. So I don't know. We're taking a look here, and I probably should have mentioned this earlier. I think if we are going to see an uptick, we're probably going to see it. Let's take a look here. Let me know that you see that there again, Bronze.
I see it.
If we were to take a look here, if this were to break to the upside, what are we talking about? Let's see here. Now, I think that, and you know what? I'm going to go to the bottom.
That's on the daily, right? Okay.
Yeah, you always want, but something like this, especially on the time frame, if we were to break out, there's an upside of, well, this looks like it's to the moon. I've been hearing 82. This looks more like 90, 91. I think that the upside is pretty substantial. I wonder if this is just being more controlled because especially when you have major players like BlackRock, Fidelity, they do not want to see something like this just take off in this manner. So I don't know. We'll have to see if this thing absolutely just skyrockets. Or
why is that? Why don't they want to see that the price shoot up like that? Is it because it's highly volatile?
They want to accumulate as much as they can at a lower price.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So, one would argue if, and all right, let me go ahead and put my tinfoil hat on here, folks,
Do it.
because understand that anything that next is going to come out of my mouth isn't necessarily known fact. I feel like Grayscale is obviously been having some sell-offs. When you take a look at the numbers, they almost align with the inflows. And of course, Grayscale has massive, huge whales, huge clients. And I don't know. I think the thought here is, are these huge whales BlackRock and Fidelity? And now are they offloading in Grayscale so that they could go ahead and control the market?
Yeah.
So,
that makes a lot of sense, because I'm really thinking like the BlackRock and all of those other ETFs. Like, where are they getting this? Where are they getting the Bitcoins? I mean, because I feel like the exchanges has, I don't think they have that much. I mean, they only have an X amount as well, right? I mean, we know that Grayscale has a lot of it, and I mean, at this rate, like in 90 days, I mean, they're going to be tapped out. But yeah, I always thought about like, where are the big institutions getting their Bitcoin from? And yeah, that makes sense if they're in partnership with Grayscale.
yeah, absolutely. Right. I mean, okay, let's think about this here, folks. I mean, Grayscale is selling, or is it their clients that's selling? Because if it were Grayscale that's selling their coffers, then what are they doing with it? They're just sitting on USD? I don't think so. It's their clients that are selling. It's at a controlled rate. And if you take a look at it, yes, we've gone up and we hit all-time highs, and then it came back down. But this kind of influx, we were all kind of expecting some kind of rocket ship to the moon. And then surprise, surprise, it's more like a, I don't know, paper airplane. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
with this conversation, John, it just makes me think about Michael Saylor, the ultimate diamond hand guy. He's had Bitcoin in such a conviction and such a high level, like from the get-go. I mean, when the times were rough on the big down days, he's still steadily accumulating. So that is Michael Saylor is the prime example. I remember like maybe 5 years ago when he really had a conversation, when he was interviewed and talking about Bitcoin, and it was very inspiring, and it just makes like, okay, like look at all the paper hands, and he is the ultimate diamond hand guy. So kudos to him.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. I was watching a very similar, because he does these interviews all over the place. And I feel like he needs to be the poster child. He has to be our spokesperson. I mean, he risked the company's, well, to be fair, the company was on its way out. They had to do something. But he was able to educate all of the senior leadership team, those that needed to make it. And then, of course, man, risked it. They risked it all, and they won big.
Yeah.
Man.
Wow. Yeah. He's very compelling. Yeah. He is a compelling speaker.
Yeah, for sure. So we'll have to pay attention here, but for the most part, yeah, we're trending. We want to be very cautious, see if we're going to dip back down. We did have a fake out, and then a fake out, and then are we looking for another third fake out? A fourth? I mean, there's still time. Why not? Talk about dramatic. This is in true Bitcoin fashion here, folks. So let's see if we can make it through the rest of this pennant here and just kind of ride off on up. So
buy the dip.
Buy the dip. Got to do it every single time. I don't know. I feel like sometimes I'm just out of money. Am I the only one that feels that way? I don't have any more money to buy the dip. I'm out. Tapped. Man.
Oh man.
All right. Brawnz, what do you
Yes.
say? We're going to go ahead and shift gears from the crypto talk. We're going to be talking about some of the cutting edge techs. Now, you got one here, and well, I got one.
couple.
And why don't we go ahead and shift gears here a bit?
Okay.
What do you got? Why don't you
I
pull
have
it
a
up? What are
video.
we talking
Okay,
about?
let's see. Oh, hold
Oh,
on
no.
here. I picked the wrong button.
B for Brawnz, folks.
Yeah, yes.
Boom.
Okay. I mean, if you haven't seen this, I don't want to say you're living under a rock, but this is truly amazing here. This is called Neuralink, um, Elon Musk's company, and this gentleman right here, he's paraplegic, and he has a chip installed. I don't know, it's on his skull, and then there's these wires that's plugged into his brains, so it can take the signals. Right. So they call it BC brain computer interface. So he's playing a game of Mario Kart with his mind. This is truly like sci-fi, and it's just 18 seconds or 17 seconds of this.
No sound, Brawnz, no
Oh,
sound.
darn it. I always
Womp, womp, womp. That's what happens when we do this live here, folks.
Yes. Darn it.
I think if you go to share and
Darn
do the
it.
there's that audio
Yes.
option at the bottom.
Yes, I do. Oh man. Okay.
Well, Mario
That's-
Kart and now Neuralink. So this is obviously one of those billion-dollar ideas from Elon Musk.
Yeah. I'm just gonna play it. Yeah, no audio, but you could. The
Oh,
video
man.
speaks for itself.
What version of Mario Kart is that?
I think 64.
No,
No,
you crazy.
He's on the on the Wii. Oh yeah, not the Wii.
Switch, bro.
The Switch.
Come on.
There you go.
Oh man.
Do you hear this one? Okay.
No,
No.
I'm gonna say no.
Okay.
You playing something?
I was, but yeah, this it was like another video that I was gonna show.
Oh man.
But
Hold on. You sent me a few links on this. Let me see if I can figure this out. This was the second one that you had sent me.
I believe so.
I just want to make sure that. Let me go ahead. And
While you're doing that, this is the beginning. This is like, okay, for me, I'm still amazed of Wi-Fi. Sometimes I'm amazed when I'm on United flying and I'm browsing or I'm on my phone, browsing Wi-Fi internet. But now this is like Wi-Fi brain. Like there's so many potentials. Now this is gonna really evolve, right? This is gonna start with basically the handicapped people, but it's eventually going to. Oh, that's a good one. It's eventually gonna start. It's going to be implemented to the normal people as well. Like you can see where you can control devices like your phone. You won't have to use your thumbs, your TV. It's if you think about like in 20 years, this is going to be mainstream, and it's going to be crazy. So now you're going to have like prosthetic limbs that you can just control with these chips. It's just we're in that black. I don't know if you saw that the Black Mirror show on Netflix. I mean, we're pretty much on its way now, and it's exciting and scary at the same time. But I mean, we're evolving. It's just like we're seeing it now. It's just to me, it's more exciting than anything.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, we're talking future tech here. And of course, we got good old Elon Musk kind of leading the charge. I feel like in almost all things tech. And this is awesome. Now, Let's see. Tell me if you hear this here, Brawnz. I'm going to go ahead and just click on it.
Elon Musk's brain chip startup Neuralink live streamed its first patient moving a cursor on a computer using an implanted device.
There it is.
In a 9-minute live stream on X, Nolan Arbaugh uses the cursor to play chess online. Now, the 29-year-old was in a diving accident 8 years ago that left him paralyzed from the shoulders down. The company's goal is to connect human brains to computers to help tackle complex neurological conditions.
The surgery was super easy. I literally was released from the hospital a day later. I have no cognitive impairments.
Neuralink was given permission to test the chip on humans by the Food and Drug Administration in May of last year.
Yeah, that's crazy. And that poor guy, I mean, because you imagine going through, you're just a normal guy, you have function over everything, and you're in some awful accident. I can only imagine that being just an absolute living nightmare. And to be able to give something back to him, that's, man, future's now. That's awesome.
Future is now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's just only going to get better from here. Of course, there's testing and a lot of trials, but it's just amazing. It's working. It's definitely working. I mean, he's a prime example. His testimony. So more to come on that. Can't wait to see what else we have in store in the next few years.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the future is bright, especially in that space. He seems to be moving pretty quickly on that. Now, all right. So I don't know what that is. Do you want me to play it before or after?
You can do it after.
You sure?
Yeah.
All right. Let's do it then. Let's do it. All right. Okay. All right. So obviously, Brawnz kind of went the Elon Musk route, and I started off with Elon Musk, and then I was like, well, he's talking an awful lot about it. Well, a lot of things. Now, this was just, I started off here with him, and he's getting interviewed. We're talking about AI here, folks. And, I think that there are several different things that you need to take into account when you're talking about AI. And most of what we hear these days is more about generative AI. And when we think about generative AI, we're thinking about, realistically, I feel like most folks are thinking about Grok. They're thinking about ChatGPT. But let's kick this off. Let me know if you see this all right.
Yes.
Yeah, so I've been thinking about AI for a long time, since I was in college, really. It was one of the things that, the sort of 4 or 5 things I thought would really affect the future dramatically. It is fundamentally profound in that the smartest creatures, as far as we know, on this earth are humans, is our defining characteristic.
Yes.
We're obviously weaker than, say, chimpanzees and less agile, but we are smarter. So now what happens when something vastly smarter than the smartest person comes along in silicon form? It's very difficult to predict what will happen in that circumstance. It's called the singularity. It's a singularity like a black hole, because you don't know what happens after that. It's hard to predict.
Right. So now, what is he talking about? I mean, is he talking about what they reference it as GAI or generative AI? And again, most folks think about ChatGPT. Well, is ChatGPT going to be taking over the world? Is there restrictions that need to be put into place that could cause harm to the human race? I think the answer to that, if you all think about it, it's not. It just, the purpose of generative AI is really designed to generate new content, such as text, images, music, and others, right? Especially now we're starting to see video. And this is based off of patterns that it learns. Now, understand that it's still inside of a box. There are set parameters and rules that it needs to abide by. So let's delve into it. And let's see what this is all about.
Generative AI, a branch of artificial intelligence focused on creating new content, has seen remarkable advancements in recent years. One of the most notable developments is in the realm of natural language processing, exemplified by large language models developed by OpenAI. These models can generate human-like text, enabling applications ranging from writing assistants to creating entire articles. Another area of significant progress is in image generation and editing, with AI systems like Midjourney that can create realistic images and art from textual descriptions. The field of AI-generated videos is advancing rapidly as well, with the potential to significantly impact our daily lives. The working mechanism behind generative AI involves training on large datasets to learn patterns, styles, or structures. For text, this means learning from a vast corpus of written material, while for images, it involves analyzing numerous examples of artwork or photographs. These AI models use complex algorithms, often based on neural networks, to generate outputs that are similar to their training data.
Look at that, right? Yeah. So I'm going to kind of fast forward through this, but we're talking about it taking and consuming information, and from that, it's generating patterns, images, sound, based off of what we wanted to kind of focus in on.
Mm-hmm.
This is really kind of what you need to focus in on here. I mean, look at that. It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Elon Musk isn't talking about that. He's not talking about movies that you can create, setting specific scenes. What he's talking about is something else. And what he's talking about is the next evolution of AI, right? And let me just pull this up. What are we talking about? Now, we're talking about AGI, artificial general intelligence. And realistically, the purpose of AGI is that it refers to basically a theoretical form which possesses the ability to understand, learn, and apply intelligence across a broad range of tasks. On top of it, though, it has the ability to match and surpass human capabilities and allow it to self-learn. This is what he's talking about. He's not talking about Chat GPT. So let's learn a little bit more about that.
Artificial general intelligence, often referred to as AGI, is the concept of a machine with the ability to understand, learn, and apply its intelligence to solve any problem, much like a human being. Unlike narrow AI, which is designed for specific tasks, AGI would have the capacity to handle a wide range of cognitive tasks and adapt to new situations autonomously. Significant strides are being made in AGI research by leading organizations such as OpenAI and Google DeepMind. One approach is through deep learning and neural networks, which mimic the human brain's structure and function. Researchers are working on expanding these models to handle more complex, abstract tasks that go beyond pattern recognition and data processing. Another interesting development is in the field of reinforcement learning, where AI systems learn to make decisions by trial and error, receiving rewards for successful outcomes. This approach is seen as a potential pathway towards developing more general problem-solving capabilities in AI. Looking into the future, the evolution of AGI could have profound implications. If achieved, AGI could perform a wide range of tasks, from complex scientific research and medical diagnosis to creative arts and decision-making. We may arrive at a stage where AGI is capable of handling any task that involves computer-related work, and it could potentially surpass human intelligence in certain areas, leading to breakthroughs in various fields. AGI could also lead to the development of more intuitive and versatile personal assistants capable of understanding and responding to a wide range of human needs and preferences. In industry, AGI could automate complex tasks, leading to significant efficiency gains. In time, artificial general intelligences may have the capability to enhance their own algorithms and architectures, potentially giving rise to superintelligent AIs. These superintelligent AIs could possess intelligence that surpasses human capabilities by thousands or even millions of times. Such advanced AIs hold the potential to create groundbreaking technologies and change society in ways that are currently difficult to fully comprehend. Make sure to stick around until the end because this video explores quantum computing, humanoid robots, generative AI, brain-computer interfaces, Internet of Things, and more.
All right, so now they talked about several other things here. And what they're trying to basically say is you start to understand the sandbox and what's available to you. And when you start to have this integration, you start to see a potential roadmap where the humanoid starts to also then merge with learning something that is able to learn. And Musk is saying 2 years. He is saying in 2 years, this type of AI has the potential to be smarter than a human being. He also says in 5 years that this potential for AI, without having any type of restrictions, has the potential to be smarter than the collective of the human race on Earth. So this is what the concerns he has, and almost it makes sense. And he speaks about it. We'll put some links into some of the interviews he had, but you need to be mindful. You need to have some kind of regulation. Not that everyone wants to stunt growth, but they need to stunt it if it is going to harm humans in general. So, just like the SEC,
Yeah, I was about to
just
say.
like the FDA. So please keep it in mind that understand that a lot of these watchdogs are in place for very good reason, as much as we want to see them go away. And understand, if tomorrow SEC goes away, what good does that do you? Maybe you're not here in the United States, but maybe you're in Romania. I don't know. I think, though, it's important to understand that there's a reason why they were put into place, and make sure you're doing your own research on that, and maybe have a better understanding of why we are where we are. So, Brawnz, what do you say? You had something you wanted me to pull up here?
Yeah, just to end it, we're gonna dial it back. We're gonna do the G.
Dial it back.
AI,
Too
not the
darn
AGI,
serious.
but the G. Yeah, a little light heart. This is
what is
a website that I just saw a couple days ago, creating
hold on.
music.
Oh no.
Hopefully you can
I had a
play
peek
this.
on that just now,
Yeah.
so I'm going to go ahead and pull it up. I'm not
Yeah.
sure what I'm looking at.
This song was created in 30 seconds. I gave it a prompt, and it ran with it, and 30 seconds.
All right. Well, I like the title already.
Yeah.
Let's
This is-
see
this is
here.
dedicated
Country
to you.
pop style, like Garth Brooks. Love Garth Brooks. Male voice. I don't know what V3 is, but Texan Whale. Here we go. Let me know you can hear this.
Down in Austin lives a man, they call him Texan Whale. Got a laptop and a plan and a story to unveil. Charts on screens light up his room like stars light up the night. Watching numbers rise and fall until the morning light. Texan Whale, reading charts like a hawk on the trail. Bitcoin's moonbound, in softly and tail, but do your own research, he never fails. He's no broker, won't sell advice, just shares the trends he sees. Patterns dancing through the night, like wind dances with trees. He says pay attention to the signs, indicators are key. It's not just luck, it's skill refined as crypto seeds. Texan Whale, track your eyes, is predicting where they'll sail. Bitcoin's
over the top.
Whispers without fail. Do your own research, remains this tale. In a world where certainty is hard to find and keep. Texan Whale, with orders so deep, with a keen eye on the storm and wisdom to impart. He navigates the volatile with a steady heart. Texan Whale, why so sharp legends they entail, the dealer on the store and wisdom to impart. He navigates the volatile with a steady heart. With a steady heart. Texan Whale, with eyes so sharp, legends they entail. Bitcoin soaring here in.
Yeah.
Well, now that wasn't me, but all right. I feel like, man, oh man, Texan Whale.
Yeah. So
I
it's
love it.
yeah, it's crazy. So You can just put a short prompt and then it'll run with it, or you can customize it.
What's the link to that site?
Yeah, suno.com, suno.com. But yeah, so I went to GPT. I gave it the parameters of the lyrics and in the core, and it ran with it. So then I just copied and pasted over to Suno. Like, hey, here's the lyrics, run with it, and it did. And yeah, so and it did. It's crazy. It's great. It did it like in less than 30 seconds.
Well, now you have to kind of make it feel like you spent a lot of time on that. You know?
Yeah. I mean, there's gonna be a lot of lazy people.
Well,
making
you know, I
songs.
think, yeah. So here it is, folks. Let me see if I can.
I made one for my wife. She like laughed. She goes, "Oh man, this is cheesy."
Well, cheesy, sure. You know, I mean,
goes, "I appreciate it."
But it's fun, right?
Yeah,
and
it is
if anything
fun, yeah.
else, what it does is it helps artists kind of maybe break through. And what I mean by that is if you're just like any other tool, if you are hitting that kind of, I don't know, mental block, you know, this may help you get through that.
Yeah.
So
It's crazy.
yeah, love it.
Love it. Yeah.
Love it, love it, love it. Yeah, back in the day, we were kind of talking about this and how when, well, yeah, I'm going to tell you how old I am. Back in the day when Photoshop was kind of new, I can recall that there were plenty of artists out there saying that's not real art. You need to make sure you're using pen, paper, whatever it is, paintbrush, clay. You can't make art on a computer. That's just nonsense. Well, here we are, folks. And no one's saying that anymore. No one's saying that digital art is nonsense and you shouldn't be doing it. It's not real art. Obviously, this is just one of those things. It's a passing concern where you have a lot of artists now even saying that stuff like this shouldn't exist. Well, just understand that take it as it is. It's a tool and it's going to potentially get us to that next level of, well, I don't know, experience overall. So, yeah.
Yes.
There it is.
There it is. Boom.
Boom to the moon. All right, Brawnz. Any final last words for these folks?
No, you just like you said, like we understand with these regulators, you know, just to make sure we're good, we're safe. But yeah, at the same time, yeah, we have to find that sweet spot where, you know, where we're continuing to innovate, but we kind of like gotta, you know, slow down, especially with AI, because, you know, it can eventually grow far, and then before you know it, then it'll be out of control. So I see what the SEC is doing, but yeah, they
Take it
ain't
for
knowing
what
me
it's
sometimes.
worth.
Yeah,
Right. They were put into place to kind of protect us little guys. And I'm thankful for that. Now, is Gary acting like a bleep? Yeah, he is. I feel like he is. Man, if anything else, let's get a better spokesman out there because Gary is just not the guy. I feel like Gary should be like the guy behind the curtain, kind of pulling strings, not the front guy. Gary looks like, God, you see that? Man, I feel like I want to pull up an old picture of Nosferatu, you know, with the kind of like, I feel like that's Gary.
Yeah.
And he's just such a jerk about it.
Yeah.
You know, reel it back, buddy.
Yeah.
I mean, cool. We get it. You're smart, but like, I don't know.
Yeah. Hopefully the next guy will be more charismatic. We'll see.
I don't know. Maybe they all right. You know what? We'll say that for next time, bro.
That's right. Okay.
Getting all riled up. Over what? Gary? Please.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
More things. Better things.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Brawnz, listen, I agree. We just need to focus on the future. We got the halving coming up. There's a lot of positive going on in the space. ETFs are here. Man, we should be celebrating the damn streets every day because we've been looking for this for a long time. And Grayscale, regardless of who it is that's selling, that selling is not going to continue forever. At current rates here, folks, we are less than 90 days out. They can't keep doing it forever. So keep that in mind. Brighter days are coming. watch the leverage, and man, we'll see what tomorrow brings. All right, Brawnz, appreciate you. All you folks out there, you guys have a great night. We'll be right back. We'll see you next time.
All right. Peace.